Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we went from this.
Take a look. Here is the CPU performance and power usage of the very latest PC laptop chip. And here's M1. M1 delivers significantly higher performance at every power level.
To this.
For comparison, let's take a look at the previous iMac. The logic board and thermals were huge because of the power-hungry processor.
I have seen a lot of competitive fun in my time. But I don't believe that this is what the CEO of Intel was keeping in mind. But this event was a slap in the face, not just for Intel, for every competitor that Apple has. Let's start with Apple Podcast, obviously, and Apple Card Family. And excuse me, where's your cursor going? Yeah, okay. We don't do that here. We don't skip here, okay? We do not skip over parts that I recorded, okay? So we're just going to either watch everything, right? Or I'm just gonna stop recording right here, right now. And you won't see the rest of the video. So you better not be moving that cursor. You better not be moving that cursor. We are going to talk about Apple Podcast Plus. And we are going to talk about Card Family. Apple Card Family. Okay, we're gonna get into it. And we're going pretty deep. It's great. It's a nice redesign. Okay, let's talk about the iMac. The iMac literally came out and it blast. It was a blast. I really enjoyed the announcement. It was something that I didn't expect, right? Obviously, we all saw the leaks, and obviously we didn't all expect the chin to be there. I feel like there was one person, that's Max, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that I expected the iconic iMac chin to stick around, but get shrunk down significantly compared to the current massive chin.
So credits to you, Max. Obviously, the biggest surprise for me is that these things were so thin, so light, or at least they look light. I haven't touched them, but it actually looks like a huge iPad. And I know everyone was talking already about, oh, they're going to get an iPad-like design, but I didn't notice that the like design was going to be an actual just big iPad on a stick. And obviously when you say it like that, it sounds weird and not like attractive at all, but it's actually awesome. When I saw it, I was like, holy shit, it's great. We're going to have to create a different video about this, right? This is just a recap of the entire event. I don't want to stick right on the iMac right here, right now. But there are a couple of things that are just bugging me, and we have to talk about it just quickly. And that is the front display is white. The border around the display is white. Which is fine, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It bothers me, right? It takes away the immersion, especially when the display is off. I don't know. It doesn't really work for me, honestly. But on the other hand, how long is it going to be until the brand comes out with a little sticker that you can put around it if you want to? Apparently, you won't be able to use it as a target display. That is a bummer. I would really like to have it as a target display as well, as of course the iMac. Now the reason for that is obviously sometimes I stream, sometimes I do things, and well, for example, not all software is available on the M1, not all games are available on the M1 yet, right? And I just would like to have a iMac that could do the streaming for me whilst I game on my actual computer, right? My actual Mac. Unfortunately, x86 Mac with Windows on it. Anywho, we also have obviously the M1 iPad, and yes, you heard that correctly, an M1 iPad. And I was completely gone the moment that was announced. I do understand that a lot of people said it's just a marketing thing, right? And it's just M1 or A14X, it's going to be the exact same thing, it's just the name that changes it. But I feel like it's more than just the name, right? Because I definitely believe that an A14X would be similar to an M1, right? I can completely understand that because they're based on the same chip and it's just upscaled. But I feel like because it's now just called the M1, a lot of developers are going to see and maybe even unconsciously a lot of people around them and just people who see the name are going to start recognizing that this is going to be, or already is, one big universe of software that runs on now the iPad and the Mac. Now obviously with the introduction of the M1 Mac, you already had this experience, right? For the most part you could already run iPad apps and iOS apps, iPhone apps on the Mac, the M1 Mac. But I feel like a lot of people might not make that connection at first. And now, that, especially when people are more interested in what is actually in the iPad, and they watch some YouTubers say it, or they see it in some paper, or they even go to the website, apple.com, and order it, they're going to see, oh wait, I just bought myself a Mac that also has this M1 chip in there. Does that mean that they just run the exact same apps? Right? Now obviously they also came out with this Apple TV, the 4K second generation. I do like the new remote. I know a lot of people are going to say no to that remote. I do like the new remote. I don't like it more than the old remote. I also haven't used it, so maybe I will change my mind. I don't know how this calibration is going to work. It's this color balancing and all this stuff. I saw the demo. I don't even know if my TV is advanced enough to do so. Probably I will have to buy another TV, but well, whatever brand is going to be the lucky one, you can thank Apple for it. And then obviously we also had the AirTag. Now for some reason I just got a really weird feeling from the word AirTag instead of AirTags. It reminds me a lot of the iPhone X, which obviously was the iPhone 10. During the leak period we all started talking about the iPhone X. And we didn't know it was going to be called the iPhone 10. It looks really cool. I mean, it works on a battery that you can change easily. I feel like it's the same battery that most analog watches use, if I'm not mistaken. But I will go in depth tomorrow about this stuff. But it means that this AirTag will go on for a year, or is expected to go on for a year. So you can put it wherever you want it to be. And it will stay connected for like a year with this encrypted Bluetooth and obviously the U1 chip, which is definitely interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to work, especially when the sound is coming off, and I don't know how long iPhones are going to be connected to it. It doesn't matter if it is in a very busy place, because a lot of iPhones are going to notice it and it's going to have to give a signal off to it. I'm just going to have to ask questions at some point. But these are basically the 4 things that I'm going to get. But guys, anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's kind of like a late one, so you might even see that I'm a little bit tired. We did party a little bit. I have some whiskeys in me body, and of course a gin with some cool lime. Probably we're going to have to dive into Podcast Plus, guys. I gonna have to do it at some point, because I actually think it's really interesting. It could replace Patreon for a lot of people, and I'm not gonna say that. Anywho, guys, thank you guys so much, and for now, I hope you guys obviously all click on. I don't know why I did that face, but I did it. That's the whiskey talking, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Only do Apple. Only do Apple.